but for the future. Caribbean Alliance. Tomorrow, secured. Caribbean Alliance Insurance Company Limited. Telephone number 767-235-2242.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
One easy loan.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
To upgrade my phone and even my home with one simple loan.
More money.
To have your wedding, to go traveling, to do anything.
More money.
No security. Speed delivery, just check NBT. Apply anytime. In branch online, it's more money time.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
No collateral.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Speedy delivery.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Just check NBT.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Smooth, so rich and pure. Cafe Brazil is what you have wished for. Cafe Brazil. Have a cup, fill up, come and explore. Cafe Brazil. Cafe Brazil. Shake up, wake up with Cafe Brazil.
Indulge in the distinctive flavors of perfectly blended Robusta and Arabica coffee beans. And make sure to try our new Cafe Brazil Gold Coffee.
Cafe Brazil.
Cafe Brazil. Taste the smooth, rich difference.
Did you love this show? Then call us at 614-3385 to find out ways you can support this program. Thank you for tuning in. Keep it locked to your genuine sound, Kyrie FM.
wonderful Thursday morning, Thursday the 16th day of June 2022. Good morning and welcome to the Heng. Of course, I need not tell you, you're tuned to the genuine sound of Dominica Kyrie FM. We are on 88.7, 93.1 and 107.9 on the FM frequencies. And of course, we're on Flow Channel 953 and 954, Flow Channel 953 and 954, and Digicel, Digiplay Channel 54. This is Digicel, Digiplay Channel 54. Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Heng. It's a bright sunshiny day in the city of Roseau. Feel like it's gonna be another hot day again today. So I welcome you. If you are celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday. If you are celebrating anniversary, happy anniversary. Of course, if you have a bereavement in your family, immediate or extended, we extend our condolences on behalf of the management and staff of Kyrie FM. We extend our condolences to you, whatever your situation is, a bereavement, sudden death, or after a long sickness, whatever it is, death has its own dynamic, death has its own surprises, death brings out the best, and oftentimes the worst in us, but we pray for the best. Our dearest sympathies. Accept our condolences. As Christians, we believe after death there is life. So whatever your lot is in life this morning, we welcome you. We thank you for joining Kyrie, for tuning in to the genuine sound of Dominica. We will take you through the paces as usual, and we will do something very exciting this morning. But as usual, at this time of the program, it is already 8 minutes after 8 o'clock. We say thank you to God, for all that He's done for us, for waking us up, putting us on the wake-up list, and we are here to experience His wonderful blessings. And we just say thank you, Lord, thank you, Lord, thank you, Lord. By now, you should know that song by heart, so sing along.
I come before you today, and there's just one thing that I want to say. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for all you've given to me, for all the blessings that I cannot see. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. With a grateful heart, with a song of praise, with an outstretched arm, I will bless your name.
Shout it out, shout it out.
You, Lord, I just want to thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. I just want to thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. For all you've done in my life, my darkness and gave me your light.
What do you say?
Thank you, Lord. Thank and my shame. You took my sickness and healed all my pain. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. With a grateful heart, with a song of praise, with an outstretched arm, I will bless your name and thank you, Lord. I just want to thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. I just want to thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Oh, thank you, Lord.
Whether you're at home, whether you're on your vehicle, in your office, or on the street, just say thank you, Lord.
Oh, thank you, Lord. I just want to thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Remember, if we do not say thank you, Lord, if we are ungrateful, He will raise the stones to praise Him and glorify Him indeed.
Lift your voice. Thank you, Lord.
And of course, to all the prayer warriors of labor, thank you for all the services that you're rendering to Dominica. We're going to do something very exciting, in recognition of a great Dominican this morning. But as we continue with the discussion, we cannot lose sight, of the ongoing efforts to secure our young child, Kanisha Etienne. The efforts continue today into the 9th straight day. 9 straight day. The child is somewhere in the hands of somebody who took her away very violently, from the comfort of her home and brought her to where we do not know. So the efforts continue. We wish the police good luck. As we usually say, every day brings new hope, renewed hope. We look forward to some breaking news. I look at my phone every so often, we're hoping to see some breaking news, and to see some photographs, that our child is back home safely in the warm and loving arms, of her loved ones, and of course the safety and security of the state. And I'll be disappointed every time it happens. And I do not see that, but to God be the glory. We look forward, to that day at someday. We'll come back. We can come back to that subject matter at some stage later in the program, particularly if you have some good news to share. But before we leave for sure, we'll remind all of us, of our responsibilities. You and I have a great responsibility thrusted upon us, to ensure that this young lady and every other young person in particular, are kept safe. I was listening to, in passing while I was driving, I heard the BS News this morning, and Curtis Matthew was interviewing a villager of Warner, and the gentleman is painting a completely different picture as to what we heard earlier this week about the saintly, the altar boy, characteristic, of the kidnapper. The people of Warner are in fear. They're in fear, doors close very early, children going to school, and everything is just, has just turned upside down, and you wonder what is happening. So we have a responsibility, you and I, all of us, we have to do something about this situation. It cannot continue. We must act, and act decisively. And one of the individuals, I'm involved in that rescue effort. One of the individuals at whose feet, the buck stops, we'll talk a little bit about him this morning when we get back. So stay tuned. of course, before we get into our discussion, we want to recognize our sponsors, the sponsors of the program, Flo Dominica, Busy Bubble Laundry, and Best Price. We thank them for their kind sponsorship and their efforts, to help us, to support Kyrie and all what Kyrie is involved in.
Close again, and mommy not there to help you though. Well, bam bam, daddy, that is close.
Easy breezy, busy bubble laundry service on the hustle. Washing, drying, folding service. Washing comfort cause it's worth it. Kiddies own, cribs and toys. Come on, daddy, bring the bag. Dirty stains from wine and malts. Come on, man, it's not your fault. Busy bubble.
Visit our new location on the Castle Comfort Highway next to the Cicero Hotel. Busy Bubble Laundry, taking the busy out of your day.
Best Price, new and improved supermarket and home store. Wide range of grocery items, fresh produce available every day, freshly cut meat and frozen products. And visit the home store, available upstairs for all your decor for every room in your home. Convenient parking located on the riverbank. Open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sundays and holidays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Friendly staff, competitive prices. Best Price. Best Price, new and improved supermarket and home store.
Bundle, yeah. Bundle, floor. Bundle, save. Tap up, yeah. Tap up, mad. Tap up. Look at the place covered. Browse all you want. Post all you want.
Win big with Flow. iPads, smartphones, staycations, breakfast fare tickets, data, and over $15,000 in cash. Activate a 3, 7, or 30-day prepaid combo plan. Pay up your bill. Switch to Flow. Bundle up for your chance to win every day.
Bundle, yeah. Bundle. Bundle, save. Tap up, yeah. Tap up, mad. Tap up. Look at the place covered. Browse all you want. Post all you want. Look at the place covered. Do what you want. Watch what you want.
Bundle now and get a smartphone for free. Switch now.
Thank you to all our sponsors, for their support of Kyrie FM. Of course, earlier on I told you about the rescue efforts, search and rescue efforts for our young child out there somewhere. Please bring her in. But I also did say, that the person who is ultimately responsible, for the safe return of this child is none other than the chief executive of Dominica, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit. Last week, on the 8th of June, Roosevelt Skerrit, Prime Minister of Dominica, the Honorable Member of Parliament for Vickers, he celebrated 50 years of his earthly journey. And what an achievement. If he were to look back, he would note that a number of individuals who started off with him, they are no longer here with him. For some reason, whatever, for illness or accidents, they are no longer here with him. But he's here. And we just, because of what happened at Warner last week, we just did not pay close attention to his contribution to Dominica's development. And I want to marry those two topics this morning: the ongoing efforts at Warner and the person who is Roosevelt Skerrit, the person who emerged on the scene in January 2000 from an obscure background, perhaps. I can stand on that one, but he was not necessarily a household name in Dominica in January 2000. But at the tender age of 21 years, an age where most young people would be looking forward to go and complete their education, he already had in his possession a bachelor's degree. He was about to go out and do his master's degree. As I understand it, funding was already secured. But he was called upon. he was called upon by the leaders of the Dominican Labour Party to change course. We need you, Dominica needs you, Vickers need you to change course. And so he placed his further educational achievement on hold. And so at 28 years, he entered politics. In short time, by 31 years of age, he became Prime Minister of this country at a very, very difficult and challenging times. We had lost 2 Prime Ministers. One was 9 months or 10 months after he became an MP. That is, Roosevelt became an MP. We lost Roosevelt Douglas, who was Prime Minister at the time. And then 3.5 years later, we lost Pierre Charles, both of whom were serving prime ministers in the Commonwealth of Dominica. And so the lot fell on Roosevelt Skerrit, the first time MP from Vickers, and he became prime minister. Roosevelt Skerrit is a community man, a family man, a father. He is head of government of a small oceanic island with limited resources. And when he became prime minister, we were in the middle of an austerity program. An austerity program that was necessitated as a result of the mismanagement of Dominica's economy by the previous government. And before that, before him, Pierre Charles of blessed memory started the recovery. He had to take a serious, measures, to stop the hemorrhaging of Dominica's economy, to stabilize it and put measures in place that would see it grow. So we have a gentleman at 50 years of age who has a tremendous background. And I just want to take you a little bit through it. I cannot go in detail on this program this morning. I will introduce it. I will allow you, to contribute, and so that we can get a better appreciation of the man who is in government at this stage. A man who has the responsibility to, the ultimate responsibility to bring home our child. You see already the other side trying to cast aspersions at the ongoing efforts to bring home our child. So we want to speak a little bit about our Prime Minister. I said earlier that he was a little known. Roosevelt Skerrit was launched as a DLP candidate in Vickers constituency. He was 28 years old. He won the election, beating a very popular Bernice Belloni of the United Workers' Party. He was appointed parliamentary secretary in the Ministry of Education and Sports. In October 2000, following the death of Prime Minister Rosie Douglas, Pierre Charles was appointed Prime Minister. In the cabinet reshuffle which followed, Roosevelt Skerrit was appointed Minister of Education. In January 2004 or February 2004, at 31 years following the sudden death of Prime Minister Pierre Charles, Roosevelt Skerrit from Vickers was selected and appointed as Prime Minister. And he has remained in the position as Prime Minister ever since. He would subsequently be appointed political leader of the DLP, a position he also holds to this day. He has held various ministerial portfolios, including finance and economic planning. In his role as political leader of the DLP, Roosevelt Skerrit has led the DLP into 4 consecutive general election victories: 2005, 2009, 2014, and 2019. Very few political leaders across the region has had that type of success in their political career. And here we have others striving to win their first. To win one. But Roosevelt Skerrit, on his own volition, has led the DLP to 4 consecutive electoral election victories, each time comprehensively beating the opposition. He has disposed of 6 leaders of the opposition political parties: Eddie James, Earl Williams, Ron Green, Judith Pestiner, Michael Astafans, Kent Vidal, and you might add Papi Chou. Soon, another one aspired to be Prime Minister will experience what it is to come up against a very popular Roosevelt Skerrit in his dream to be Prime Minister. Throughout those years, Roosevelt Skerrit, as Prime Minister, he's experienced a tremendous amount of challenges. Hurricanes, troughs, storms. We can think of Erica and Maria, as two of the more devastating natural disasters Prime Minister Skerrit has had to deal with. Earthquakes. He has had to lead an economy reorganized around WTO agreements. And we have people around us pretending that WTO does not exist or did not impact Dominica. And for the young ones who may not know what WTO means, it's the World Trade Organization. And before the WTO ruling, Dominica enjoyed preferential, and the Windward Islands enjoyed preferential trading on the British market for their bananas. In other words, our bananas would be the first to be accepted on the British market without tariffs, as against bananas from Central America where there were some tariffs. As a result of a WTO ruling, Dominica and the Windward Islands lost that preferential treatment on the British market. So our bananas had to compete with Latin American bananas on the British and European markets. If we understand the situation in Latin America with the huge farms where the cost of labor is low, mechanized agriculture can take place, these people would outproduce our small islands, in terms of bananas. And so Roosevelt Skerrit came in around that time, having to face the reality of having lost preferential trading arrangement on the British market. He had to reorganize. Okay, and so, but even then with that great, well, I won't say a great, significant disappointment in our economic fortunes, Roosevelt Skerrit has had many achievements, and I want to take us through just a few of them. The economy. If you understand where we were, and Clarence may call in, and to tell us a little bit, remind us of the economy, because there are people walking around Roseau, who want us to forget what happened. Even when they spoke very loudly about the state of the economy at that time, they want us now to forget what the economy was like. But when Roosevelt Skerrit came in, he came in into a very serious austerity program, and he had to continue with it and to right Dominica's fortunes in terms of our economic survival. Diplomatic relations, within 3 months of assuming the position of Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, the parliamentary representative of VCAS, he took that bold decision to switch diplomatic relations from Taiwan, a province of China, to the People's Republic of China, Red China as it was known at that time. He got a lot of blows, plenty blows, but the results, we can see the results now. Venezuela has been a friend of ours. I think Venezuela was the first country to recognize Dominica, after independence. Well, first country outside of Britain to recognize Dominica after independence. And we had that friendship with Venezuela, but it took Roosevelt Skerrit, to really develop the relationship, that brought a lot of benefits, tangible benefits to Dominica. He has forged new partnerships with various countries. Today we have over 100 countries with which we have diplomatic relations, through the policies of a young, youthful Roosevelt Skerrit. And the foreign policy was driven under the motto, friends of all, satellites of none. In our social programs, we can think of sports. The Windsor Park Stadium. Next month we are hosting Bangladesh. And before we had the Windsor Park Stadium, we could not host international games. I recall the first morning when I walked into the first test match against Bangladesh, when I walked into the Windsor Park Stadium and see the extent of the facility, to experience the extent of the facility, the arrangements, the whole atmosphere. I say, boy, it's only overseas I'm seeing those things there. But Roosevelt Skerrit, Prime Minister of Dominica, the Member of Parliament for Vickers, brought that to us many, many years ago. And when people doubted it, I recall the opposition leader at the time say, after the groundbreaking ceremony for the stadium, he said, that's a joke. You see any sand? You see any stone? You see any steel? You see any workshops set up already? You see any toilet? That was his immediate response following the groundbreaking ceremony. But Prime Minister Skerrit has always, as he has always done, proven them wrong. So he brought us the Windsor Park Stadium in our sports. The NEP program, National Employment Program, where a number of young people are able to get employment, and most of them, work experience. And we have very successful examples where they've moved from the NEP into substantial, established jobs in the private sector, both in the private sector and in government. The Yes We Care program, reaching out to our people who are destitute perhaps, disadvantaged at home, needing care and attention, somebody to come, and to give them a bath, comb their hair, change their clothes, clean their house, go shopping for them. Just maybe pray with them, sing a song with them, just be there for them. Prime Minister Skerrit initiated the Yes We Care program, and it is still ongoing after how many years? Even in this dire economic situation, our Yes We Care program continues. We can think of the Chances facility in Jimit, where our young people, disadvantaged young people, can be taken in it's like a respite center, taken in and to given certain treatment. Give them a chance, to get back into society. In education, so many achievements in education. We can think of the State College, the flagship project for in our education program, and the genesis began in the midst of our austerity program. Now Dominica is offering degree programs right here at home. Everybody who wants an education, who care about an education, can get an education at our facility. What happened? What existed before? Few people, few individuals, few young persons from Dominica had the opportunity to go to the college. Today we have working people, we have students. Every student who pass or who go through the high school have the opportunity, once they meet the matriculation requirements, can go to college. And if they do not have it now, they can get it and register to the college some other time. There are part-time programs, there are full-time programs, degree programs, right here in Dominica. We have the schools feeding program. Our young people, we still have pockets, of social, social disadvantage in our society. So our young people can get a meal at school. School feeding, the school buses to take our children to school. Consider a parent from the southeast, having to transfer their child to Roseau or to Castlebrook. They have 2 children in high school. How much money they have to pay a month? That is money that from the program of Roosevelt Skerrit, people are able to save money. Teacher training, all categories. New school plans, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a while. Health, training of new doctors. We have more specialization. The Dominica China Friendship Hospital, which they say will not take place. Hospital in the sky, they call it in the Calypsos. The new Marigot Hospital, $53 million. 12 new health and wellness centers. Before Roosevelt Skerrit, from Vickers, became Prime Minister, we had no ICU, intensive care unit. Our dialysis program was very pathetic. And through the vision of Roosevelt Skerrit, we have an ICU. We have a dialysis program ongoing, very expensive now with the new facility. Infrastructure, roads, all our major roads have undergone serious rehabilitation. And we're talking about the Edward Oliver Libler Highway, the Nicholas Liverpool Highway. We're talking about the road from Kinfield to Pokase, from Pokase to La Plaine down into the southeast. All our major highways have been, have received certain levels of attention. We can drive to the furthest part in Dominica today is just about an hour and 15 minutes, depending on how you're driving. The furthest part. If you're driving fast, you might get there before. Before that, what were potholes? See the Nicholas J. Liverpool Highway from Pokase to Melville Hall. Over 30-something ravines, culvert bridges there. We had to stop for the oncoming vehicle. Today we pass each other without much attention. Roosevelt Skerrit has been involved in that. Somebody's on the line there. I have a couple more things, but somebody want to engage with us at 8:47. Good morning. Welcome to the Heng.
Hi, good morning to you, Ronald. How are you doing?
Good morning. Is that Ambassador Nanton?
Emmanuel Nanton, or Mano from Portsmouth.
Mano from Portsmouth, the cricket man.
Yeah, a guy who likes cricket. I love cricket, but couldn't play,
Mano, some time ago, I recall you saying how people call you cricket in Portsmouth. I don't want to say it myself.
Cricket, please.
How are you?
Yeah. I'm good, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So this morning I just called. It's still the celebration of the 60th birthday of my friend.
Yes.
My friend Roosevelt Skerrit, the guy who was Skerrit from Vickers.
Mm-hmm.
A simple person, an ordinary person, someone who is very loving, very caring, likes to assist people. I think there's nothing that he likes more than being able to assist people, and it's not something that he puts on. It's natural. It's very, very natural. So I believe when you speak of his achievements as Prime Minister, those that matter, those that touch me most, are those that are people oriented. So he would talk about he did the Libler Highway. They talk about he did the stadium. You talk about he did the New China Friendship Hospital. He did the Dominica State College, etc. He will do the international airport. You will talk about all the things. The new Bellevue Chopin, the housing in Cotton Hill and in Georgetown and in the Kalinago territory and so many places. In Castle Bruce and so and so on. All the health centers all around Dominica, the new hospital in Marigot. You will talk about all those things. But the thing that I believe that stands out to me most is his thing to try to reach out to help people. So the Skerrit, the young man from Vickers, remember the days when he had to walk from PSS to Vickers or blending before he could get a ride on to Vickers, and he recalled so many of his friends and family members he saw doing that. And that Skerrit wanted to ensure that is no more. That is why he started off the school bus system, so that the young people from Penville, from Vickers, from Thibault, and then eventually took it all around the country. I recall back in the days when you were driving from Portsmouth to Roseau, at any time of the day or night, you would see students there in their
uniforms.
Their uniform, their brown and khaki on the road. Because the students from Jubla and from Bios and Collio, they had no idea how they were getting home and when they were getting home. They were on the streets early in the morning and they were there late at night, all the time, all around. And thanks to the suffering experienced by Roosevelt Skerrit, he was able to say, you know what, we need to remove our students from that thing. So he ensured that he made universal education, secondary education, a must for all the children of Dominica to be able to go to high school. But he ensured that they had the means to do it. So he wanted to give them the education, get them transport to go there. Then he would do the school transfer grant, the uniforms and the books, and there's so many things there, because young people are important to him. Young people are trying to assist them are important, but not just young. I say young because that's where we are now on the education. But if you move from the young and you go to the old, then you think of the Yes We Care. And again, it was a program born out of a simple thing. Scary driving through Roseau and seeing that lady with her tin of peanuts and thing on her head, and we knew how she was walking.
Yeah.
And he said, boy, we have to do something to help that woman. But there are so many elderly people in Dominica, up and down, in every community. Families have gone overseas to work, and they live on their own.
Yeah.
And we know the problems and tribulations that they were going through, being on their own, without food, without gas, without water, without a proper facilities to bathe. And he ensured that we do the Yes We Care, so that the elderly, those who are most vulnerable among us, will get assistance. And when you can think of how well you can help people, and you can implement ways and programs to assist those who are more vulnerable among us, then I believe you're doing the work of God. So we have the Yes We Care program that is all over. And then, the Honorable Leader, the Prime Minister, Roosevelt Scarrett, I recall being with him in Woodford Hill. I can't remember how you call that little community. As you climb up the hill on the left-hand side there, I can't remember the name there that people of Woodford call it there. We were right there.
Palm Tree?
Not Palm Tree. You have to go up in the village when you leave the main road.
Okay.
Up in the village. As you go up the hill on the left-hand side, the first road on the left-hand side there. We were there with members of the village council. And there were a number of people who were doing 1 or 2 toilets there. And, the council, so we did that, but we have some more. And he told them, you know what? Go ahead. Do a list of all what you have in all of Woodford Hill. Yeah. And they started there. So the pit latrine eradication started in Woodford Hill, right there. We've carried with the members of the village council. And I know what that meant, Ron, because I grew up myself with my pit latrine.
That's right.
And when it was filled, we had to put it in a bucket and do everything in a bucket and go in Bar River or take it down in the CBN where Murphy Wallace is there in Portsmouth. I know that. I live that thing. I carry it on my head. I carry it on my hand. I know that. And when it's scared to come and tell the nation, something, there are many among us living with that condition. We should give every man, every family, every household a toilet. And that is something that does not sound big. It's not grand. It's not a big hospital. It's not an international airport. It's not a new school at Roosevelt Douglas or in Goodwill or PSS. But you know what? That reaches out and touches the confidence of so many young people. And it takes care of those who are middle-aged and those who are old as well. So that the signature, my signature of Roosevelt Scarrett is attacking the pit latrine. Scarrett building pit latrine. That one there is the one that touched me most among all of them. Because I know the conditions that I went through personally as a man, as a boy, as a child. And I knew my brothers and sisters who were with me, and we had to carry that bucket, And when Scarrett could say, that thing shall be no more. No matter if you're from Portsmouth or you're from Granbury, from Roseau, no matter if you're from Vickers or Marigot or Salibert, that shall be no more for nobody anywhere around Dominica. Let us get rid of those pit latrines.
And it was ridiculed, And it was ridiculed by the other side.
Yes, because you see, it's a thing about caring. It's a thing about caring. And then, the comrade went on, and the comrade decided that, something, there's so many poor people who are squatting in government lands. Why don't we give it to them so that their children, they can have a security that they can have to help and give and solidify their families. And the dollar is square foot. All around Dominica, in Chance where I grew up, land was given to the people there $1 a square foot. in Hillsborough Estate, in Pont Michel,
Focole,
Kenfield. In Focole, in Kenfield. So many families were given land at $1 a square foot, and they could take that land now and now go to the bank and take a loan because that land now is worth $8 and $9 and $10 and $11 and $12. So many people are so much better off because of that, because that man tried to assist. So he gave the land through. But then he went on to do the housing revolution. And you do the housing revolution, and we started in one way or another, but the revolution started. And the revolution picked up momentum. And the revolution came on to being able to give hand over 100 and 200 and 300 houses at one time. Whether you were in Cotton Hill, whether you were in Georgetown, whether you were in Castlebrooks, whether you were in Saint-Sauveur, Peter Soufriere, whether, at 400 of in Bishop. Now we see how many hundreds been done in Granby. West Liberals have toiled for so many years. So many years the people of Granby have been fighting for land since in the 70s with Pierre Charles and the revolution out in Granby. So the revolution of Roosevelt Square and housing has taken momentum, and it is galloping. It is moving quickly.
That's right.
And so many families now are enjoying the benefit of that revolution. And you know what? Some people take it for granted.
Yes.
Some people take it for granted. But the revolution came again out of a caring for people. So I recall going to the infirmary, what we would call in Portsmouth, the poorhouse, up at Grange. And the lady there told me, Mado, I see the Prime Minister giving land, giving houses. I need a house. I don't mind if I have to pay $500 or so on. I don't mind. I can pay the $500 because I pay $500 rent now. You know what? And I went to the comrade. I said, comrade, you know that lady there, the tall lady down there. He said, Melvina, yeah man. I know. I don't. How many? If I know Melvina,
he knows everybody.
He said, but Melvina must be about 58, coming up to 60. He said, okay. So if she has 5 more years that she can work before she retires, can't we allow her to save the $500 so when she retires she can have something for herself and her children and her grandchildren? Will it hurt us as a country, as a government, as a people, if we can provide her with proper housing for she and her family? She has worked hard all her life. Is it come, you know something? Let's put the lady name down, but let's give her a house. Let us save that money because she doesn't have many more years to work, and the amount of money she's working for is not so much that family is going to be a big part of it, but the children can benefit, you know. And anywhere you go, you go to talk to this guy about anybody anywhere. He can always tell you their name, and he can tell you where they live.
That's right.
And he can describe the track to go down to them. So vacancy man come out, you know. But you go Grand Ben, he tell you, yes, behind that house, under the mango tree on the left-hand side, it have a guy right there. It have a dog in the yard there. Be careful.
In Dailies.
And you go Dailies, and he will tell you, he can describe the yard and the neighborhood for you. His capacity to remember the sufferings of people is a gift from God, a blessing. I recall once I was in my office in Portsmouth. I was working with the government at the time, and this guy my friend came to see me. And when he was leaving my office, he saw a guy outside. He said, come. Who is this guy? The guy. I said, oh, Lestrade. He said, yeah, man. He said, boy, so I try to find out where Mr. from and who he is. Every time I go to Labour Party meeting, this guy is always there. He's always there. He's always at the front of the stage there. And sometimes I can see he's hungry, you know. So, but he's always there. So I want to ensure that we have to do something for him. Lestrade was the guy who was cleaning the drains in Portsmouth.
Okay.
You know, Lestrade job is to live all his life cleaning the drains for the Portsmouth Town Council.
Sanitation.
Sanitations, yeah. But in simple terms, Lestrade clean the drains in Portsmouth. In simple terms. Simple guy. We went on to get Austria to get a lot for this guy and build him a house. So he had his own house where he could live in chance. You know? That was, 10, 12 years ago? Sometime last year, he called me in his office. I was with his office. A lady came there And she said, Prime Minister, I don't know if you know me, but I live in a bad condition. He said, you? I mean, if, I don't know you. You're from Wesley. you always in all Labour Party thing everywhere.
Yeah.
And she said, Prime Minister, I was living on the tent and so on. And he said, Comrade Nanton, this lady there is a solid woman who is a faithful and committed person there. Go with her in Wesley. Look at the situation and let us bring a recommendation. You know, and now we have a house under construction for her out there at Wesley. Excellent. But he remembers everybody. He remembers the suffering. He knows the pains. And when he sleeps at night, he thinks of the poor people around Dominica. You know, so what I'm saying, I don't want to take all your time on the program this morning, but what I'm saying is that the person who's just carried is somebody with a golden heart. Someone who is caring, who is loving, who is very concerned about people. I recall the next time being in his office, and a lady came to him for some medical, and he said, "Okay, yeah, that's okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Yeah. And when he asked her, how much is this? She said it was $60,000. He said, okay, ma'am, we'll help you and the child. So when the lady left, he said, come and prepare the paper for me. So he said, well, that lady there, isn't the husband that guy there who always on that square across there, always giving me nipple and saying all kind of thing about me? I say, yes,
same him.
That's her.
Same him.
So I say, how much do I prepare for Prime Minister? A quarter, half? He said, no. We have to help the child. We have to do all the 60,000. Prepare the paper. He signed it. Not because you are against him. He wouldn't help you. He helped you because God has placed him in a position where he can help. So he uses that position to help and outreach to help people. Whether you support him, that's your choice. That's nothing to do with him. God put him in a position where he can help you. He will help you. Right. Whether you blue, you black, you indigo, or you whatever, he will help you. You want to help him, you want to give him a vote so that he could help others. That's your choice. But it's simply your choice. You may not. Some people, they continue to be as adamant as ever. Even after they get the help, they wipe them out and they go through. You understand? I mean, but he's the person who wants to help. So my boy called me and said, my boy, Prime Minister, I didn't tell you, but my boy tell me he come and see you today. Because my boy know when he goes to see Scary will help him.
Yeah.
That is the person who he is. No matter who you are, where you are. He is somebody who love helping people. And as my friend, I want to wish you a rich and blessed year in this, your 50th year. He never gets tired of seeing people.
Yep.
So what you find amazing with Scary is that you would go out with him in the constituency, and you would sit with him and he would see 200 people. And you finish, and you think you're going home, you say, okay, let's go. Then you take you to the next village, and you see another 200. No, most parliaments, if not all of them, will get tired for the day seeing 200 people in 2 or 3 days. Scary will see 200 or 300 in one morning and go to a next community and see another 200 or 300. And he doesn't get tired from doing it. He has an insatiable appetite to serve.
That's right.
And that is a blessing given to him by God.
Indeed.
That's why I believe he's a great Prime Minister. He is one of the best, if not the best Prime Minister we have ever seen. And the gift that he has given to him by God to help people, to serve people is incredible. Scary is not a public person. Scary is not a crowd people. Scary doesn't like crowd. He's a shy and reserved guy. But put him in the place where he can help people, he will see 1,000 people. But he prefers being one-on-one with his friends or in his garden, toiling or taking care of his animals, you know?
Yeah.
But when you can ask him to help people, the more people you put in front of him is the more people you will find that he will serve. The Prime Minister is an honorable guy. He is a loving guy. He is a good man. And comrade, you deserve a happy birthday, and I wish you all the best today as we continue to celebrate the month and the year for the rest of your life for you and your families. One love and all the best.
Mano, thank you so very much. You've brought so much insight into the discussion that we started earlier. Have a nice day yourself, my friend.
All the best, comrade. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was Emmanuel Nanton from Portsmouth. As if you're just joining us now, it's 8:56. We were focusing on Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. He turned 50 last year. We didn't have time, to salute him, so because of what happened at Warner. And so we're taking the opportunity now, to say thank you, Prime Minister Skerrit, for all that you've done for us, you continue to do for us. And we are in your corner. We have your back. We'll stand full square with you. On the local line, good morning.
Hello, morning, Mr. Charles.
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Not too bad, and yourself, you okay?
We good, yeah.
Yeah, man. Mr. Charles, I could remember I was very close with this is Pierre Charles, our former Prime Minister. And I was close with him when he was a parliamentary representative for Grande, and I was very close with him when he became Prime Minister. And one day I went to him and visited him. He told me, boy, Adna, pressure is tight. So I tell him what he tell me, boy, the state of the economy, what he met, that UWP left for him. And he told me like that, his bills there, the Dominica is owing everybody and is on him, the pressure is on no money because UWP mash up the economy.
Yeah.
And I could remember after the death of Pierre Charles, Roosevelt Skerrit came in. And first thing that Roosevelt Skerrit was working on to see that he bring the state of the economy back to standard. And he did not do it by himself because who is Roosevelt Skerrit? Not the man from Vickers as he called himself. But he do it by a divine intervention, and this divine intervention was the Almighty that blessed him. My brother, I could remember when this road was...
Hello? Sorry, Kokom, we didn't cut you off, but something went wrong. Yeah.
You're close again, and mommy not there to help you though. Well, bam, bam, daddy, that is close.
Easy breezy, busy bubble, laundry service on the hustle, washing, drying, folding service, washing comfort cause it's worth it. Kiddies Zone, cribs and toys, come on daddy, bring the bag. Dirty stains from wine and malts, come on man, it's not your fault. Busy Bubble.
Visit our new location on the Castle Comfort Highway next to the Cicero Hotel. Busy Bubble Laundry, taking the busy out of your day.
Bundle, yeah. Bundle, floor. Bundle, save. Tap up, yeah. Tap up, mad. Tap up. Look at the place covered. Browse all you want. Pose all you want.
Win big with Flow. iPads, smartphones, staycations, breakfast fare tickets, data, and over $15,000 in cash. Activate a 3, 7, or 30-day prepaid combo plan. Pay up your bill. Switch to Flow. Bundle up for your chance to win every day.
Bundle, yeah. Bundle, save. Tap up, yeah. Tap up, mad. Tap up. Look at the place covered. Browse all you want. Pose all you want. Look at the place covered. Do what you want. Watch what you want.
Bundle now and get a smartphone for free. Switch now.
On the overseas line, good morning.
Hey, Mr. Charles, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Good, thank you. Good. I don't know what program you have this morning, but I just want to make this point. Because I was just watching the government, the government and the Ministry of Agriculture just launched
the Agricultural Science Building Complex.
Science Lab, okay? In the Northern District, in the 1 Mile area. And, the amount of, comments, not one of the comments I have seen that have complimented what is taking place or what has to take place in the area.
Mm-hmm.
All they're saying is that, the government selling Dominica. Dominica is already sold. The government going to sell the country. Just now, people wouldn't have nothing, Dominicans cannot do nothing in Dominica. But, Ronald, I want to make this point. I have traveled, okay? In Canada, in Scarborough area, there is a big city, even bigger than Roseau. It's Chinese that are there. They have their school, they have their church, they have their businesses, they have wealthy and healthy businesses in those areas. Okay? Not 1 inch of that land is being taken to China. It cannot leave Canada and go anywhere. All it does is bring development to the country, Canada. Okay? In Boston, in the city of Boston, there's an area they call Chinatown. Not 1 inch of that land is taken away and sent to China. All the people do there is develop, do businesses, and employ people. Not only Chinese that are employed there, how many people are employed in those areas? In England, in the United Kingdom, there's an area south London they call Slough. Okay, if you go to that area, Slough.
Indians.
It's Indians, Pakistanis, and Africans.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And all businesses are owned by them, but they employ other people. Okay?
Mm.
I'm coming down to Little Antigua. Do you know there is an area in Antigua they call Little Roseau?
Okay. No, I have not been to Antigua for a while.
Yes. They call Little Roseau. And just recently, okay, but all these people that are there are from Dominica. That's why they call it Little Roseau.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly Dominicans. Now what they do, can they take any piece of that land and come to Dominica with it? Most of the people are being employed. They are employed. Not only by Antiguans, but some big foreign companies. Right now, Antigua is almost populated with Jamaicans and Guyanese. Okay?
Caller,
you complaining the other day that they had some party and mostly Jamaicans that were there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm coming down to the Virgin Islands where I live. Okay? Ronald, the main street area that is developed into more or less for tourism. Almost every one of those businesses are owned by Indians.
Mm-hmm.
So all the most wealthiest and healthiest jewelry stores, okay, are in Main Street. Not one person from St. Thomas.
Caller, I hear what you're saying, but this morning we're focusing on Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. He celebrated 50 years. Last week we were unable, to pay tribute to him.
Okay, I was going to come to that.
Okay, yeah. So let's get there. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that is development for those countries. And what is happening in Dominica is development for Dominica.
Mm-hmm.
And Ronald, besides J.R. Stephens and Company in Dominica, the biggest employers are Chinese, if I understand it correctly. Now, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, I knew this, I'm going to say it like that, I knew this boy a long time. I walked in enough. I know Mr. Skerrit was going to school in Portsmouth. I knew him teaching in Portsmouth. Okay? I knew him from Vickers. I knew him long ago. Okay? Now, I am many years older than Mr. Skerrit. And I can tell you, Ronald, from the time I became 21 years, every year, every living year, you can ask my sisters, I used to celebrate my birthday. In my employment in Commonwealth at the time, I never worked I'll tell you, I always take a day off on my birthday. I never work on my birthday. That is the day God gives me to be on the earth. I celebrate, I go to church, I come back, I get one of the best breakfasts and meals at my home with my family. Okay? So I celebrate it. The man's birthday, he was out in the United States, okay, giving a speech at this joint Caribbean leaders with the president, okay. The man the prime minister took off a photo with the president of the United States and his wife. Some people say, oh, you go rubbing shoulders with this and that and the country this and country that. Now the man is going to celebrate his birthday. That is his birthday. That is the day God gives him on earth to be alive today. Okay? Celebrating his birthday. And Dominicans against that? Dominicans against that? You understand? The man has brought to Ronald, I am from the north. Okay, I am from the north. 39 years of my employment straight was Commonwealth. I'm from the north. Roads, bridges, everything I have seen before. And now it's a complete different kettle of fish. Okay? I traversed almost in fact, I walked all over the 4 districts with public works in Dominica. Okay? Bridges where you used to, if you were coming down Debosh Hill one time and you meet a vehicle and you don't have brakes, an accident. Right now, 2 vehicles can pass through Debosh. All the bridges on the north from Debosh go down to the Melvin Hall Airport. All these bridges nowadays are 2-lane bridges. One of the most dangerous bridges was in Hatton area, just after you leave the entrance to go to the Carib territory. That was one of the most dangerous bridges there. Right now there is a 2-lane bridge there. Okay? The bridge that Mr. had started in the Melvin Hall area and was never completed. This bridge is now a 2-lane bridge over the Melvin Hall River. Okay? And with the development of the road from Melvin Hall to Portsmouth, all the bridges on that area are going to be 2-lane bridges. I know there are some very dangerous bridges there, but that will be something of the past. And the man is celebrating his birthday. The man is celebrating life. Dominicans are against that? Give me a break. Ronald, I'm listening to you. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. I was saying, caller, I didn't mean to cut you out. I was just trying to elaborate on a point you were making there, and perhaps you didn't hear me. I was saying that whilst you at Melville Hall, let us not forget night landing. I was just literally adding to the point you were making, night landing, and to the extent that we can land at Melville Hall at 9, 10, 1 o'clock in the morning, 10 at night, 1 o'clock in the morning. So callers, so I did not cut you off. I was just trying to elaborate and support the points you were making. But this morning, yes, we're looking at Prime Minister Skerrit and his achievements, his contribution to Dominica's development. In the short time, he's under 50 years. At 31, he became Prime Minister, and he's made a wonderful contribution. Good morning on the overseas line.
Yes, Mr. Charles, fireman talking best but little half sense. Good morning to River Nick and the world. Mr. Charles, one thing I can say for sure, I have to say so much because so much people say everything already and it's so correct, perfect. What I can say about World Boss, really and truly, to me, I see World Boss like a life changer. Yours. Mm-hmm. That means he's changing the life of everybody, every human being. Now, coming as a Prime Minister now, he realized that he's a leader now, so he has to play leadership role. Yours. But really and truly, in all what World Boss doing, they do it by himself, because why? If the Labour family not there, World Boss, full force, he don't do nothing because he don't select him, he can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's a great moment for River Nika to have a great, that's why I call him World Boss. We can say what you want. And as the brother just said, Mr. Linton, it's through all the struggles he go through, he see the life, he see what happening in the life of humanity. That's why I always say again, the brother, love and respect humanity. And I always know, once you love and respect humanity, no malice is going to stop you. You don't have to know well. You have to do what you have to do. No man not perfect. He's a human being like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So when them man talking their garbage, me tell something, Mr. Reynolds, I just about this stadium. I hear so much thing about this stadium. I know what I love to hear today, lately there in the news, that the next radio station will be carrying the cricket internationally, locally, regionally. And I love that because why? That stadium there is the same stadium I bought them to kill and destroy and say all kind of different things about the stadium. But today now you can carry it for the world for to make your money. So that is great. So that's the mission of World Boss. He put things in place for the behalf of every human being in River Nickel. So who don't want to be part of it because they're malice and bad mind. Evil and malicious, dangerous and tomato and as I always say. You know what I'm saying? So they want to see nothing good. But everything World Boss put in River Nickel, as the brother say, he right, is for us. You know what I'm saying? So it's we have to make use of it. So that's why now the Labour family now employ World Boss and the crew, and nobody cannot stop that. You there with me?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying, Mr. Charles? So when them man talking the garbage, we have to give thanks, just like Mr. Daryl T. Simeon, also you, my Rasta brother Ghost. All them are taking time to come in the media and give us our little resources and make us feel upright. We can even call and voice our opinion because why? This country belongs to us. We have to defend our country. Nobody can do it for us, Mr. Charles. This country not there like a leaf. This is a place that all different type of people live in, and I tell you, well and truly, they can say what they want, as the brother say, but you. I myself know for a fact, the way River Nickel is there right now, that man is a gift. That man is just a blessed youth. You know what I'm saying? And we have to work with World Boss. And all those who fighting, as I'm telling you, fighting the country, as I'm telling you, the country has a problem with them, you know. Not the people, you know, because people have it for them already because they can't go nowhere again. It's the country itself have a problem with them. Because the country know what it go through. You know what the people of the River Nickel go through. And right now we shine in. Now is our time to shine. You know what I'm telling you? Now we're flying in living colors. And them man have a problem with that because why? Who is World Boss from Bakers, as everybody say, the country boy, as they say, the liquor boy, to be in the charge. But he's the one that Selassie, I say, have to be in charge. No matter what God they call him, whatsoever different name. But I myself call him that name. That is my own, that is my choice. You know what I'm saying? So that is a great moment for River Nickel. So no matter what people say, it's a life changer we call the brother right now. My new name for World Boss is to you. You are a life changer. You change the life of human beings. And nobody can stop me from saying I can go anywhere, internationally, locally, and say that. It's one of the best gifts that come into River Nickel. You have one of the best political brand in River Nickel. And even the Caribbean looking for some slice. So you have to link up with them man now and give them a little of the resources. Because when you do good and the whole Caribbean do good, all of us happy, no matter what people say. It's time for us to see ourselves as one family and do it for everybody to be happy and perfect. I saw a little program before I roll out yesterday about the elder people. And I tell you all you, if them people are taking advantage of them elder people, I don't call them old, you don't have no old what they're throwing. I don't speak in English, I speak in my language. Elder people, this is very important to our country. We have to love and respect them, and anyone about you, no matter what all be, that disrespecting elder people, like telling all you still have to follow here, because they are the foundation of our country. Now is the time for us. What we're going to spend our life. Look what all those sides they get the princess already. What we're going to spend our life. Now is the time for us to interact with the elder people so they can give us some helping knowledge to make us get positive discipline, because we need discipline in our country and in our life, because that country suffers enough discipline. That's why we got so much of respect in the country. So before I roll out again, World Boss, you're a great brother. I myself have 5,000% with you. I don't have nobody. And I tell the world already, once they have a problem with you, they have a problem with fireman. Once they have a problem with everybody because they have a problem with me, so nobody can come. This is my country, and we have to do it. He can do it by himself. We need all hands on deck. So good morning to you, you great, you mighty, and also Daryl T. Their birthday, Earth Strong. Enjoy yourself. Also, the whole world is celebrating. My time coming soon anyhow. So Mommy and Meredith, my mommy for life, nobody can stop that. My mommy not inside matching the fire woman. Long as I touch base, it be all wrong there. And Mr. Parker, how you doing, Mr. Parker? I hope you safe and strong. And the man family, lady in red. And my sister Stephanie, you know already, my original lawyer, Mr. Moses. And my great Rasta brother, my mentor, original Wawa. I hope you safe and strong. Mr. The whole place in strong, great Labour family from fireman up and running, Mr. Reynolds. That country great. Our time to no stopping us. Flying in living colors, no credit left for top up on them. Fireman running blessed up, take it to the world.
Thank you, fireman, and we trust that you are well. And on the local line, you've been trying on the local line.
Good morning, Mr. Charles.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, I'm blessed. How is the family?
Are we okay?
Okay. God bless you. Continue the work that you're doing. And I say good morning to my Dr. Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. After God gave you to us as the leader of this country, you're doing a fantastic job. And Mommy will always love you until she gets into her grave. You are blessed Prime Minister, the first and blessed and most powerful one who ever worked in this country as a prime minister. I'm not saying the others did not do, but you are chosen. You are chosen by God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, to come and rescue your people in this land of Dominica. And no weapon that come against you shall not prosper, because God is in control. And I always claim that most precious blood of the Lamb of God from the crown of your head to the sole of your feet. Continue that mission you are on for the Lord, because you're saving your people after him. He gave you the authority, he gave you the wisdom, and he sent you to look after his flock, and you did a fantastic job. May he continue to bless you. May he hold your hands, walk with you through the darkest night, the brightest day. And he's your wife. Oh, he give you a wonderful wife, and she's doing the best she can. So may God continue to bless her, her children, your families, and your in-laws. Stay strong, my Prime Minister. Stay with the Lord. Stay with Jesus. Stay with God Almighty and the Holy Spirit. Always call on them. Claim them. They are your hope. And you will continue to be victorious. No one can touch you because God is in control. Mr. Charles, all the ministers of government, the senators, God bless all of you, you know. Mr. Charles, if I have to tell you about my situation, you there with me?
Yes, I'm there.
I work in the government headquarters in ministry. Financial center did not build at the time yet. I worked there 21 years. Hard work. The pay was small. And every month, Edison James used to take out money for Social Security before I even get $1. Okay? On the little money. And I struggle. When we hearing that Social Security was not paying by the government, what did Edison do with my money and the other people, even secretaries? What have he done with those monies he used to collect for Social Security every month? When I think of that, it does hurt my heart. Because at my age, to see all my money I work hard in ministry for go in Edison James and his Ku Klux Klan. So I got sick climbing up that step every morning from 6 o'clock. My cartilage in my knees come out. They worn out. The cushion worn out. In 2000, when my first Prime Minister, Douglas, take over power, that's the time I had to retire. And Mr. Douglas, may his soul rest in peace. This man, I tell you, he was a blessing for Dominica also. Patrick was good too, you know. And when 2000 I retired, I got sick in my both knees. All medication they tell me to take, I take in. All what they tell me to do, I do in. My son in St. Martin used to send a kind of a medication for me. He sent 3 bottles. When I was on the 3rd bottle, is when I start to get pain and cannot walk. If I leave my bedroom, I creep to go in the kitchen and I take a cup of water. Somebody have to take the cup from me to put it on the table. The amount of pain I had in the knees and couldn't walk. A friend of mine, my daughter-in-law, said a cane for me, a stick for me to walk. I fell twice in a drain that is in my area there. I fell in the drain twice on 2 occasions. I go to Dr. Julian. When he examined me, he said the cartilage in my knee is gone. And if I do not have a surgery, I will be on a wheelchair. And I say I was going down that road on the wheelchair. He told me he have to get the doctors from Martinique to go to Martinique to have the surgery. But I have to pay 8,000 euro for one knee. I say, Papa Bodje, where am I going to get that money? When Edison James eat all my social security money, where am I going to get 8,000 euro to do one me? Anyway, I go begging, I go and buy some of the businessmen, some of the banks, sending letters, they telling me, all of them get together in a meeting and they put in the money that they will help the poor people in Astafan. And Astafan upstairs, there's a lady there that does help people. I went to her. She told me, I have children. I have children and I have to be helping them. They don't have. They're worse than me. They don't have. And they're not working. I have to go and go in ministry for me to feed them inside there. You're telling me I have children. The lady never helped me, I go to PM in his office. I spoke to him, and when he see my condition, he tell me he'll help. I tell him, PM, I go all about. The Chinese, that is why I always support Chinese. When I go to the Chinese office and I spoke to them, they tell me is when there's a group that get together in certain things, they just help them to help the people, but they doesn't help one individual. I say, okay, sir. I cannot deny that. Anyway, I go making my little wrongs and so on. 2 people that one give me 500. The Chinese, they tell me where I live in. I told them, the Chinese go all about Kenfield looking for me, Looking for me. When they call me, I tell them, no, it's not Kenfield. I tell you, Kingshill. 3 of them that came. And they saw a guy going to Kenfield, going to work, and they stopped him and asked him if he know Kingshill. The fella told them yes, because he was living just around the 2 cemetery. If he heard me, he can speak the truth. So he called me and told me about the fella. So I talked to the fella on the Chinese phone and asked him if he can drop the people. He said he know me, the guy. He know where I live in and he know me. So I asked him, please, if he can have the Chinese to drop him by my home to come and show them where I live in. He tell me, okay. And the Chinese said they'll bring him back to work. And the fella came there with the free Chinese. They came at my home.
Mommy,
3 of them.
Mommy, can we focus on the Prime Minister?
That is why I'm going to talk to you about Mr. Scott,
yeah, but
my Prime Minister. That is why I'm going to tell you. But
yes, I understand. But you're going through a lot of details. We could.
I'm not going to bring it all to you. I'm just going to tell you.
The details too.
The Chinese came there and they brought a envelope for me with $2,000, and I take that and I go to the Prime Minister in his office in Financial Center, and I explained to him. He tell me, okay, not to go back and beg again. Don't go back anywhere, because where I go, I can't get through. He called that same Lantan. He can tell you that same Mr. Lantan who talked to you, the first one who spoke, and put him for him to assist me for me to have my surgery. My own children tell me, man, you're old already, so don't worry about that. Anyway, Papa God, Father, bless that Prime Minister. Continue your blessing upon him, guide him and protect him. Mr. Lantan had me struggling before I could get the help to go to Dr. Julian. And it's Mr. Felix Gregoire that was working again in ministry, the ambassador, had to put after Lantan, Had to put after Lantan. He can say the truth.
Mommy, that's the point, that's the point. Mommy, you got...
My Prime Minister is the one who helped me to have my surgery. My Prime Minister, God gave me to help me. Today I am walking. Today I am on my 2 feet. So it's not only houses and land and so. He helped people that are sick. People that have to go overseas to have surgery. He helping them. And that's the good thing that he's doing for Dominical. And that is what God sent him to do. Take care of the sick. Visit the sick. Help the poor, the poorest of the poor. Visit the elderly. Feed the hungry. Shelter the homeless. Clothe the naked. And that is what my Prime Minister doing for the Lord. So nobody that trying to keep him down will not succeed because he's doing the work for the Lord. And nobody knows how I meet my Prime Minister when he was 17 years. So nobody will take him away from me and say I cannot talk and I talking too much. When come on my Prime Minister, I can talk the whole of the world. Okay? Nobody stop me. Have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day yourself.
Daddy, you dirty your clothes again. And mommy not there to help you though. Well, bam, bam, daddy dirty his clothes.
Easy breezy, busy bubble laundry service on the hustle. Washing, drying, folding service. Washing comfort cause it's worth it. Kiddies own, cribs and toys. Come on, daddy, bring the bag. Dirty stains from wine and malts. Come on, man, it's not your fault. Busy bubble.
Visit our new location on the Castle Comfort Highway next to the Sister Hotel. Busy Bubble Laundry, taking the busy out of your day.
Quick delivery is a huge stress reliever for me, and it could be for you too, wherever you are in the world. Let me explain. Quick delivery usually helps you save time by delivering food from your favorite restaurants, packages from freight forwarders, cooking gas, groceries, pharmaceuticals, beauty supplies, and much more right to your door. But listen to this. If you're in the diaspora, quick delivery can help you too. Avoid the hassle of wasting time shipping barrels where they can get the necessities delivered to your family island-wide instead. Select the items that you want at various stores in Dominica, and quick delivery will shop and deliver for you. They'll even go pay your utility bills. So much easier. Call or WhatsApp 1767-245-0529 or 1767-616-7945 for more info. You crave it, we deliver. Skip the lane and save some time with quick delivery.
On the local line, good morning.
Good morning, Ronald. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, and you?
Okay, this is Albert Williams. I'm calling from the United Kingdom. And I too would like to join your callers in wishing the Honorable Dr. Roosevelt Skerritt a wonderful 50th birthday. Actually, his birthday and mine kind of almost correspond. I was born on the 10th of June, 1962, right? And I arrived in Dominica in May 2nd, 1972. And the Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt was born in June of that year, in 1972.
Yep.
So I'm 10 years older than the Honorable Prime Minister, and I have seen him grown from strength to strength. And just to bring a little anecdote, when I was at the Chronicle, as a reporter back in 2004, when the Prime Minister, young Prime Minister, was sworn in, and he was talking to journalists, I was mentioning to him, do you think it's a good idea to kind of equip the state car with certain first aid equipment like defibrillator, blood, and other first aid, equipment? Because as you know, the Honorable Pierre Charles had passed away, fell sick in the state car, had to be rushed to the hospital and all of that. So that was the environment in which he became Prime Minister.
Yep.
And do you know what he told me?
Tell us.
He told me, Williams, what are you talking about? instead of you asking me about marriage, about my marriage or to get married, you did mention about falling sick. I'm a young man. What are you talking about? Anyhow, as time went on, I left Dominica in 2004, and the next time I saw him face to face is when he came to London to see the diaspora out here following Hurricane Maria at a hotel in London, and we had a chance to speak, and we had a chance to take a selfie together and reconnected, And I'm very proud of Roosevelt Skerritt. Mr. Nanton listed some of the achievements that he has achieved in his 18 years or so at the helm. And I think that the time has come when he should seriously look into getting his memoirs published, several types of memoirs, especially Dominica's recovery since Hurricane Maria. That episode in Dominica's life is a changing, it's like a threshold, from the past to what is going on now. And I cannot say enough about the Roosevelt Skerritt. The Roosevelt Skerritt has been at various times chairman of the OECS, chairman of CARICOM, chairman of various other committees. He's widely respected across the region and across the world. His speech at the United Nations General Assembly in 2017 went down like something I'd never heard before, you know, in terms of begging for assistance for Caribbean islands that had been devastated by Hurricanes Maria and Hurricane Irma. You know, that speech will go down in history, you know, and that's just one of his speeches. And as Mr. Lanton was saying that his birthday happened to coincide with the holding of the 9th summit of the Americas.
Yep.
Where he was not up in America on some sort of party trip or some sort of pleasure, recreation. He was there on government business. And lo and behold, White is up there. Maybe the night when he left Dominica on the 7th, I'm presuming, on the 7th he left Dominica. When he arrived in New York, on the red carpet, meeting President Biden and his wife, he's getting the news that this kidnapping of the young 12-year-old Kanisha Aiton is ongoing. Yep. And I heard the voice message he sent out. And before you knew it, perhaps less than 24 hours, he was back on the island, taking control at the command center and getting stuck into looking for this little girl. You know, during the time of his birthday, during the time when he was doing a state visit, a state function for Dominica, this disaster came about, which is still ongoing. You know, and I don't want to hold the line too long, but I'm just letting you know that Roosevelt Skerry is like a leader Dominica has never seen before.
Indeed.
The United Workers' Party and their followers, they are totally waste of time. You know, they have nothing to offer. They have never offered anything. All their leaders are past their time. They just past their time. You know, the Honorable Roosevelt Skerry and the Dominica Labour Party needs to be recognized. And I see the GIS has a post talking about nominations for Order of Merit. The person that deserves an order, Dominica's highest order, is the Honorable Roosevelt Skerry. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
He's still a young man. They're talking about he's been there too long. But when somebody has a job and is doing a good job at the job, you do not get rid of him.
In fact,
you do not put somebody who has done no good job at all and want to put him in. Somebody like the opposition leader and the rest of them. What have they done to deserve to even want to be the leader of Dominica? So I'm going to let it rest there, and I'm going to wish the Honorable Prime Minister to continue to have a good 50th anniversary throughout the year. Remember, he's becoming a man. And remember, I am 60 years old. I became 60 on the 10th of June, 1962, and I was not able to celebrate my birthday because of the impact that the kidnapping of Kanisha Aiton has had over Dominicans at home and abroad. So we're all suffering. But today, as you said, we're taking the time off to congratulate Roosevelt Skerry for reaching that milestone of 50 years. Many of us do not know if they will reach 50 years old. We should not take that lightly. You understand? And he became Prime Minister when he was a very young man. He became a minister when he was even younger. So we cannot take that away from him. You understand?
Thank you. Thank
you,
you,
I just like to wish you good morning and continue the good work that you're doing. Don't let nobody try to dampen your spirit or try to pull him down or try to pull the country down. We have a great leader. He is doing great things. He's innovative. He's imaginative. He has the youth and the vigor to go behind the visions and the dreams that he wants, you know, for his people. Who else would have thought about a stadium would be built in Dominica? Or like Nansen said, every bridge is now 2-lane. The road from Portsmouth to Roseau, I haven't seen it with my own eyes, but I can remember when the road from Portsmouth to Roseau was like some kind of a back track full of potholes. Yeah. We had to leave the country 3, 4 in the morning to rumble down on a truck, you know, to get to Roseau. You know,
thank you, caller.
Because the roads were so bad.
Thanks for your intervention there. Wonderful intervention. Thank you.
All right then. Thank you very much.
Thank you. On the overseas line, good morning.
Good morning, Ron. Good morning.
What's up? How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. Very, very important topic this morning. Talking about our Prime Minister, his leadership, where Dominica was and where he has taken Dominica. And sometimes when I think of the Prime Minister and his leadership and where Dominica is at the moment in terms of social and economic development, I get goosebumps because I was there when Dominica wasn't where it was, you know. So and sometimes Ron, we take the Prime Minister's leadership for granted, and that's basic human nature. When it rains a lot and it's raining all day, all year, you don't think there's going to be a drought. And when the drought comes, then you realize, wow, man, I miss the rain. And that's what's happening to some people in Dominica. They just take the Prime Minister's leadership for granted. But if you have to step aside, then everybody's going to be saying, if PM Skerrit was there, if PM Skerrit, but he has stepped aside. But for now, so it's a very important topic that you highlight in his achievement, the person that he is. And to tell you the truth, Ron, I don't compare anymore Prime Minister with former Dominica leaders. To me, we have to step it up. When I'm comparing Prime Minister Skerrit and his leadership, I compare it with other Latin American countries for the past 60 years. I think the Prime Minister, based on his leadership and what he has done for Dominica in the past 20 plus years, we no longer can say, well, compare him with our local leaders. He's gone past that. So if you have to look at this Prime Minister, his leadership and what he's doing nationally, regionally, and internationally, he is in the top echelon of Latin American leaders. That's a fact, and we cannot argue that. And Ron, the Prime Minister took over the country at the age of 31 years. And again, we don't sit back and really think about it. At 31 years, most young guys afraid to commit to get married because they're thinking, boy, I've got to get married, I have to build a house, I don't have a piece of land yet, children, etc. And they're on the fence whether or not to propose to your young lady. And this young man, Prime Minister Skerrit, stepped into leadership at 31 years old, and it wasn't nice to be leader of Dominica at that time because you know what happened after the UWP took over Dominica. Dominica was in a mess, but yet still, he stepped into the fray and decided to take Dominica forward and be Dominica's leader, and we have to be very, very much appreciative of the Prime Minister of Dominica. The Prime Minister, again, when I look at his leadership, I think in 2005 in the New Chronicle, I think Thompson Fountain and Gable wrote an article basically saying why the Labour Party won the election in 2005, I think, because the opposition was saying, well, it's because of corruption, fraud, and whatever. And basically, Gable and Thompson Fountain said, no, it was the Skerrit factor. And what is the Skerrit factor? And I personally, when I look at a leader, I look at his emotional intelligence. How much aware is he of his emotions and how he makes decisions? And when you look at the Prime Minister, like everybody, has emotions, but he does not make emotional decisions. The Prime Minister, no matter how rough the seas are, how high the wind is blowing, the Prime Minister is always cool, calm, and collecting, and he makes decisions based on information, based on data, and to make the best decision for Dominica. So that's the Skerrit factor. Another thing is the love for people. As Manu said, Mr. Nanton said, the Prime Minister loves people and he understands the plight of the less fortunate among us. And in order for you to be a great leader, you must understand the plight of the less fortunate. If you don't understand the plight of the less fortunate, and you don't have to grow up in a less fortunate situation, you just have to understand it. Because if we have to look at Rosie Douglas was a man who understands and I experienced it firsthand, who understand the plight of the poor, the plight of the less fortunate, although he was raised in a privileged home. And Mr. Skerritt, Prime Minister Skerritt, understand the plight of the poor man. Another factor of great leadership is humility. The Prime Minister is a very humble person. You speak to him and you can feel that humility permeating through you. The Prime Minister is a great negotiator. We see it for the past 20 years, diplomatic ties with China. We're talking about negotiating for loans and grants with other international financial institutions. And he understands foreign policy. He understands foreign policy.
Hello?
Ron?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm there. Ron,
Okay.
the opposition talking about China, and China this, and why we have diplomatic ties with China. And these guys don't understand international relations. That's why they can make such statements. But the Prime Minister understands. For example, China is one of the biggest trading partners. United States have diplomatic relations with China. The United States is one of the biggest trading partners with China. Chinese have trillions of dollars invested in the United States. And the Prime Minister understood that. The Prime Minister understood that China has become one of the great economic powers. So we can see that the Prime Minister, he understands foreign relations, and that's all encompassed the Skerritt factor. And that's why the people of Dominica is voting him for the past 4 or 5 elections, because they understand what they have. But the few who are against him, they understand, but all they're trying to do is to get into power, and they don't understand people. They don't have the level of understanding he has. And the Prime Minister is very effective if you have to look at Dominica's social development. We are second to none in Latin America over the past 10 to 15 years.
Mhm.
And Ron, you may ask, what is social development? Basically, social development is improving the well-being of every individual in society,
Indeed,
so that they
yeah.
can achieve their full potential.
Mhm, mhm.
Can I repeat it? Improving the well-being of every individual, in Dominica, so that they can achieve their full potential. And who resonates that better than the Prime Minister? Every time you hear the Prime, if you have to go back the past 15 years, 15, 20 years, the Prime Minister is hell-bent on improving the well-being of Dominica. We're talking about the pit latrine eradication. That's a major milestone in terms of health and social development. We're talking about his vision of a graduate in every home. That is social development. Housing. Dominica had one of the worst housing stock in inventory in the Eastern Caribbean. Now we have one of the best. We have one of the most resilient. If you have to drive over Dominica, our housing stock is better than, is second to none. I remember, Ron, back in the 80s, Dominica was the laughing stock of the Caribbean. People used to compare Dominica with Haiti. I don't know if you recall that.
Oh, yes.
Antigua, their Guadeloupe people who did not visit Dominica or didn't know about Dominica in terms of actually coming to Dominica in the 80s, really thought Dominica was poorer than Haiti. Now it's a totally different structure. So you see, in terms of our social development, because the Prime Minister has a vision for Dominica, because he understands what it takes to uplift and to improve the well-being of his citizens, we can talk about the elderly care. We can talk about the National Employment Program. So this Prime Minister, again, he is second to none in Latin America in the past 6 years. You have to put him there on the top, on the first paragraph, if you're writing a book about top leaders in the Latin America for the past 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even talk about economic development.
Yep.
Don't even talk about the economic development stuff. The Prime Minister under his reign has doubled the gross domestic GDP per capita. Over $22,000 GDP per capita. Has doubled it. You're talking about our GDP. Our budget has crossed over $1 billion annually. $1 billion. You know, back in the 80s, 90s, Dominica budget was what? 300 million. Now, because of our economic development, because of our Prime Minister and his leadership, our GDP has crossed $1 billion and counting, right? We had over $2 billion under the leadership of the Prime Minister, over $2 billion in circulating in the economy. If you have to go back in the 80s, early 90s, that was less than 500 million. Deposit in banks crossed 1.2 billion under the leadership of the Prime Minister. We're talking about economic development, right? And deposit in banks was just about 200 million in 1995 to 2000. So we're talking about social and economic development under this Prime Minister, and at his taking over at the age of 31, basically he gave the prime of his life to the country. So all in all, Ron, I think the Prime Dominica is very fortunate. The Caribbean is very fortunate. Latin America is very fortunate to have a leader like Prime Minister Skerrit, and we should not apologize. We should not keep quiet to uplift him and to pray for him and for his continued success. Thank you very much, and great topic.
Thank you, my friend, and have yourself a wonderful day as well. It is 9:47. We bring this program to a close at 13 minutes time. On the overseas line, good morning.
Mr. Charles, thank you again for taking my call. I just want to join all the others, although I'm kind of disappointed with their long biographies. It's the same people calling the same every day with the same stuff, you know. Give other people chances to pay tribute to the Prime Minister. I wish you could be considerate in that. I think Mr. Nanton again covered everything. Just going on what Mr. Nanton said earlier before, I endorse everything that he says about who Skerrit is and what type of gentleman that he is. And we don't need to reiterate that over and over and over again. His achievement is astounding, and there's no better leadership. The other party, the people that we have, they're nothing to compare. They can't compare. They're trying to sully the man's character and his reputation. But one thing they can do, you know, they might go after his reputation, but they can't destroy his character. His character is what everybody testified to this morning, and you can't touch that. And to me, when I hear of the opposition and they're belly aching, I think of, they belly ache about things that they want, not things that's beneficial to the country, things that they want. And they try and they push the envelope, and bring up all scenarios and just push. And it's, they're just pushing and pushing and pushing to see where he can break. But the man has the tenacity. The man is resilient, and I just thank him for the achievement that he's done in his 50 years. Thank you, sir. God bless. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for your contribution. And we go right away on the local line. Good morning.
Hey, Ronald. Morning.
Good morning.
Doc, how are you?
Hey, Doc, how are you?
I'm not bad at all. Listen, I want to just address a couple of things.
Yeah.
You're familiar with courts, of course.
With what?
Courts.
Courts Dominica?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, right opposite courts, right across the street.
Yeah.
There's a big hole at the side of the road. There's a Chinese store and a travel agency around there.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, in January, I almost went into that hole. Had it not been for some people around who hit my vehicle and told me to stop, I would have gone down in that hole. About 2.5 months ago, I was in the area and I had to park there. I saw a parking spot, so I went in there, not realizing that there was that hole there. I went down into that hole. I went down into it twice, as a matter of fact, because when I thought I came out and had some space to maneuver to get away from it, I still went down in it. Now, I called somebody who works in the area just this week and asked them, is that hole still there? She said, yes, it's still there, and look, a vehicle just come out in it. And when I had gone down in it about 2.5 months ago, there was, she said about 8 people had gone down into it that same day already. Now, this is not something that the city council should be dealing with, as far as you know.
Yes, city council is responsible for the streets of Roseau, yeah.
Right. So, I mean, my vehicle, I don't know what damage was done onto it because I haven't even inspected it properly. But I'm sure that there are vehicles that are less durable than mine that could have been damaged or have been damaged. You know? But, you know, I just wanted to get, I kind of wanted to get on their case. I tried to call Prosper on Sunday, but I didn't get through to him to have this issue addressed.
Okay.
Besides that, there's so many drains that are not covered in Ozo. I don't know how come we don't have more accidents in the city, how more people don't get injured, how more vehicles don't fall down into these drains and stuff, you know, because we need a lot of drains that need to be covered. Nobody's paying any attention to these things. It's only when something happens that somebody looks and say, well, hey, we need to do this, we need to do that.
Okay, well, thanks, Doc, for bringing that to our attention. We were actually focusing on the Prime Minister and his 50th birthday this morning, but I'm sure some of the other authorities, local authorities, are hearing that, the mayor and the other people at the city council.
Okay, well, I didn't really know what you were focusing on this morning, but I just needed to get that in. I was been trying and wanting to do it for the longest time.
Okay,
I need for somebody to bring it to their attention and have it addressed.
Thank you, Doc, and have a wonderful day yourself. Thanks for the work you're doing in the evenings as well on the radio.
Okay, thank you, and you take care.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's already 8 minutes before 10 o'clock. I leave you at 10 o'clock there. We have a few more minutes to go on the local line. Good morning.
Hello, Mr. Charles.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, man. You know, giving God thanks for everything. You know, that what the government is doing, what the Prime Minister is doing. We have such a visionary leader, you know. And, you know, a lot of times we don't see people for who they are. You know, well, the same thing, you know, Jesus Christ, he walked 33 years here. What they did, they cursed him. They worked for the food. They worked for the healing that he was doing. A lot of them didn't follow Jesus Christ for nothing. Some of them follow him eventually for them to kill him. Some of them follow him for the healing. Some of them follow him for the food. But when it was come to be gracious, the scribes and the Pharisees, they were wicked people. They were people that didn't like Jesus Christ at all when he walked. But he still did what he had to do. And he still healed the enemies. He still healed the other people, demon-possessed people. That's what he did. I am telling you, honorable spirit was instituted by God. You can don't believe it if you want. But 2 prime ministers went out in succession. When you see that, you don't tell yourself you have to leave a brain, hey, look, is God that working? Is God that working that out? And God work out for that young man to be inside there? I mean, maybe the prime minister, maybe they didn't believe that he was put there, but God. But I'm telling you, God instituted him there. And if he wasn't instituted and that opposition was instituted, Ronald, we would be sucking salt all now. For years we'll be sucking salt. And I have to tell you, the Bible says those who have ears, let them hear. Those who have eyes, let them see. That is why God gave you 2 eyes and two ears. You think it's for useless he put it there? And common sense? That's why he gives 5 senses. But you know what you have to do. I'm telling you, Ronald, I watched Prime Minister Spirit doing certain things. I'm not a foolish person, you know. When I go around people, I observe. I open my ears, I open my eyes, I watch. And I watched that man several times in action. The sympathy and the compassion, the love the man has. You can see it in his eyes. And the things that he's doing for people, for small ones, for big people. What do you think when President Chavez came there? President Chavez was stinging, you know. Was driving and Roosevelt's carriage was on his side, you know. The respect that foreign people have and the president has. You had the World Bank guy came here. He never came to no Caribbean or other Caribbean. He came to Dominica singing the praises of Dominica. We other people, well, the Bible tells you a prophet is not honored in his own land. Eh?
Okay.
Jerusalem. Jesus Christ.
Caller, thanks. You're making your point. We want to end a couple more. We have only 5 more minutes left on the show.
Okay, my brother, take it easy. But I'm just telling you, there's none to compare when it comes to Roosevelt's career.
Indeed.
That he has. So, what's those fools out there?
Yeah.
That have no skills and nothing. Have a blessed day, my brother.
Take care, my friend. You too. On the overseas line, good morning. 5 minutes before 10 o'clock. I leave at 10.
Mr. Charles?
Yes?
Okay. I may be the last caller, but let me tell you something. Being a constant listener and caller sometimes, I want you all, okay? I want you all to take complete control of this program. Otherwise, it will get into disrepute, and the management will try to discontinue this program. I don't say nothing more, but I just want you all to take control over this program.
Okay.
It is getting out of hand. I'm not saying anything more. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. On the local line, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Charles, and how are you?
Good morning. We have just about 2 more minutes.
Yes, I know. I have already said it to him, but I'll say it again. Happy birthday to PM. And PM, you'll have to celebrate the rest of your birthday with me next month, because this month was rough. Yeah, Mr. Charles, it's a thought. I'm calling from Belzer, Amada.
Yeah.
It's a thought that came to me last night while I couldn't sleep and remembering the little girl. I was wondering if somebody cannot get a loudspeaker and it would motivate some people that apparently was his friend and maybe passing the village, go up and down, asking him and pleading with him to see if he would let go the little child. It's just a thought. And then that other thought came to me, like I don't know if the family member can try to get the wife to come to Dominica. Apparently maybe that would make him let go the little child. That was just a thought of my mother.
Thank you, caller. Take care. Have a wonderful day and stay safe. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, what wonderful days. Not those days.
Yeah. Stay safe then. Yeah. Take care. All right. Bye-bye. 2 more minutes before the 8 o'clock hour. On the overseas line, you've been trying to call for a while now. Good morning. We got just about a minute left. On the overseas line. We missed that person on the overseas line. Quickly on the local line, good morning.
Hey, Ron, good morning, my friend.
Hi, how are you, my friend?
Well, I've been trying to call forever, but I understand. You know, everybody wants to call to, pick up the PM. But, I mean, we have only 2 minutes or a minute. Yeah. But one thing I want to say is, from my perspective and observation, the reason why the Prime Minister makes governing the country look so easy because because he has love, compassion, and empathy, right? And the impact that he has had for his leadership on the lives of the people is unprecedented. People, the call before have said it all. But I think this is the essential qualities that he possesses, that he puts people first, and that is why he is so loved and revered by his people and continue to be reelected to lead them. Because when you show genuine love and care for people, they will reward you. Some people are going to be ungrateful. That's just life, right? But the majority understand and they feel the impact of his love and his empathy and his passion for them. And that is why Roosevelt Skerrit is undoubtedly one of the greatest leaders in the world and going in history as such. Thank you very much, Ron. I know you have to run.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful.
Thank you, my friend. Take care. We have to go. We got just.
Close again, and mommy not there to help you though. Well, bam bam, daddy, that is close.
Easy breezy, busy bubble laundry service on the hustle. Washing, drying, folding service. Washing comfort cause it's worth it. Kiddies own, cribs and toys.
Come on, daddy, bring the bag.
Dirty stains from wine and malts. Come on, man, it's not your fault. Busy bubble.
Visit our new location on the Castle Comfort Highway next to the Sister Hotel. Busy.
Oh, it's already 10 o'clock. We bring the show to an end just about now. The lines are still going, both local and overseas line. My sincere apologies, to you. I cannot take your call now. I have to leave. The next show must roll on. Thank you again. Thank you again for joining in and participating in the program. Yes, we note all your concerns. I've received tremendous amount of WhatsApp messages, this morning concerning our programming. We'll look at it, and see how best we can improve on our performance here. It's not easy. It's a very challenging time here in the studios with all the lines going at the same time. Like I speaking to you now, a minute after 10 o'clock, and both lines are still going. We just cannot take another call. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you sometime next week. God bless, and have a blessed, productive day today and a blessed weekend as we go along, in our daily life. Bring home our child. I'm the kidnapper. Bring home our child.
This is Kyrie FM, a better sound for a great audience.
got life, there's a chance you'll be able to overcome. Where there's a will, there's a way. It's never until it's done.